Hello everybody! Soon we're going to have Mardi Gras, which is going to be on the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. That means Valentine's Day is on Ash Wednesday. I was grew up in Mobile, Alabama, which most people will tell you is the birthplace of Mardi Gras. Which it kind of is and kind of isn't, because it's a tradition that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It was brought back by a man named Joe Cain, who dressed as an Indian after the Civil War and paraded down the streets, because this was a traditional thing at the time, before the Civil War, and he wanted to bring it back, and that's how we ended up starting Mardi Gras as you know it today. And so I'm going to do a look that is Mardi Gras. It's incorporating the Mardi Gras look to it. So let's start. Okay, first I'm going to start with basically my eyeshadow primer, but I'm not really using an eyeshadow primer. I'm going to be using a foundation that I really don't particularly like as a foundation. It's L'Oreal True Match Porcelain W1. But I thought maybe if I used eyeshadow on top of it, it would work, because then the eyeshadow would be covering up the chalky look. And I actually used it, and it worked really good. The eyeshadow stayed. So I'm going to keep trying to use this as my primer. But it's like a liquid that dries to a powder. So we're going to start with purple, which I didn't know this. I looked it up just for this video, even though I've lived in Mobile most of my life. The color purple represents justice. So we're going to have LA Colors Shimmering Loose Eyeshadow, and it has a little brush on it, but the brush is really hard. It's not very helpful. I don't like LA Colors very much, but I do like their loose powders. They stay. Their other eyeshadows do not stay, but this does. Very pretty shadow. Very glittery, because I like glitter. Ooh, yeah, that looks nice. Oh wow, I really like that. Here's a look at their little brush that they give you. It's like you're gonna stab yourself. You might as well stab yourself with the end of your actual makeup brush if you want to use this, because it's hard. Okay, next we're gonna do green, and according to the internet, green represents faith. Fat Tuesday comes right before Ash Wednesday, and it's kind of like Mardi Gras is the party before you have to give up something for Lent. Now we're going to go with green, which is going to be in the crease, which I have hooded eyes, and I don't have, I have a crease, but it's the problem trying to get it seen like some people who have huge eyelids. So I go a little above. Pretty common trick. I'm going to go with Revlon. It's called Seafoam. It's a wet and dry shadow, which I'm not sure if I've ever used it wet, but I'm going to have to try it one day. And I'm using another Wet n Wild brush. Actually, this brush is the one that came in the set with it was $15 at Walgreens, which is half price, which everybody was looking for. I went on the internet looking for what store had it, and I had to go kind of out of the way to find it, but I did find a set. Oops, get my mirror. This is my Dollar Tree mirror. I stepped on it. It's on my bed and I stepped on it because I was trying to get to something and it broke. Okay, let's just go in with the green. Kind of go up, touching where your eye socket is. Like I said, my crease is a little lower. Now we're going to go for gold. And gold, I want it really be striking gold because it's fancy, glitzy Mardi Gras balls. If you're not from my area, you may not be familiar with the Mardi Gras balls, but different groups, organizations, they have balls, and basically they just party and drink. I don't drink, so I'm not a fan of the drinking part, but hey, you get to you put makeup on, pretty dress, that's good for me. Though really I've never actually been to a Mardi Gras ball. I grew up here, I've never been to a Mardi Gras ball. The one Mardi Gras ball I did go to, I was actually working. I was one of the actors in the show. So that's the Mardi Gras balls I've been to. Let's get to the gold eyeshadow. Okay, now we're going for gold. Gold, gold, gold. Gold, gold. And I'm going to use Hard Candy Baked Eyeshadow. Let's see if it shows up. I really like this eyeshadow. Sometimes Hard Candy, their makeup's really good. And then sometimes it's not really good. And so you're kind of taking a chance on, and sometimes it's expensive, sometimes it's not. I found this, it was a Christmas thing, and I actually paid regular price for a whole set. I think this was one of the ones that I paid that was in the set. Then later after Christmas I found a bunch of them that were like 50 to 90% off, so I got a lot of duplicates of these. This is baked eyeshadow, and what's really good about this, if you get it wet, it gets really thick and you get the real gold. It works really good. I do recommend their baked eyeshadows. I'm really not a fan of their regular eyeshadows though. And their eyeliners are pretty bad too. It's not that they don't work when they go on, they just won't stay that way. I just find that just soon after I put it on, it just kind of melts and off, and I get a little glitter from the melting, but I mean from just what I put on there, but it doesn't stay in a line. And so I'm not recommending Hard Candy eyeliner. Okay, this way I usually do it is, I use a water bottle. I mean, you're getting this near your eyes. Use fresh water. Or, I mean, you know, doesn't have like chlorine like you're drinking, like your tap water might. Okay, show you what I'm doing. Okay, I've taken a little bit of the water, poured it in. This is the water cap. Poured it in. So it takes a little more water than I would think it would, but I think I might have put a little too much this time. It'll dry. Now this, I'm trying to just put basically on my lid. So I forgot to tell you, gold, it represents power. I'll go under the eye a little bit. Wish my lighting was better in here. Okay, let's just blend it a little bit so we don't have too harsh lines. Here's get my face. Because I want this to kind of go into each other like it's ombre. So Mardi Gras in Mobile, it's a lot of people come here, and our downtown's really not that big, but we have bunches of tourists that come and bring their trailers, and they have a little trailer park that they open under the interstate, and during Mardi Gras season, you're going over the interstate, you look down, it's just a sea of trailers, you know, recreational vehicle trailers, whatever they're called. But it's interesting. Okay, last time I did this, I used a liquid. I didn't like what it did because it was too sheer to go over the bright colors. It looked okay, but it just really didn't do it. I didn't know what to use, so this time I'm going to try a Wet n Wild Color Chrome Kohl eyeliner. I'm not sure how it's going to work because it does have a tendency to kind of like fall apart in bits, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. I don't understand why it's flaking like that, because I've used it before and it didn't. I am not getting along with this eyeliner. It's all flaky. I've used it before, this brand before, and it didn't flake like that. I'm thinking maybe it's the color, because I do have this in blue too. Maybe I used the blue instead of the purple. Okay, let's go with mascara. I'm going to be using Maybelline Lash Stiletto. I've been using this a while. I really like this one. Some of the newer ones that I've been getting have been like really watery, and I don't know what's going on with that, but it's really annoying because it gets everywhere. But I'm going to use this because I know that it is not watery. I don't know if many people know about Joe Cain. But there is a holiday, Joe Cain Day. It's usually on Sunday before Mardi Gras. Well, he was a real person. He actually lived in the same town as my grandfather. He knew my grandfather's family, knew his parents, sent flowers to her wedding. He was buried in Battery, which is my grandfather's hometown. He was born there. And years later, after his wife was gone, they were both buried in Battery. Man came up, I guess he idolized Joe Cain or something, and decided he wanted to dig him up, move him to Mobile. And it eventually happened. Yeah. So where Joe Cain is buried now is not actually where Joe Cain wanted to be buried, nor where he was originally buried. And actually, Joe Cain had a house in Battery. It's still standing. So if you're like a big fan of Mardi Gras and you want to see everything Mardi Gras, you should go down to Battery and see Joe Cain's house that he lived in at the end of his life, because when he retired, he moved, and it was a resort town. It was nice at one time. Right now, after the hurricanes hit it and everything, it's not what it used to be. But his house amazingly still survived. Very few have survived. Katrina, Frederick, all those storms that hit, they're gone. I mean, even Camille took out some. Yeah, it was bad. Highlighter time. Okay, highlighter. Like I said, I really like Wet n Wild. This eyeliner turned out terrible, but I really like Wet n Wild. This is Wet n Wild Color Icon Rainbow Highlighter, which I think is, I mean, a lot of people really like this. Some people didn't. I like it. It works good for me. And, I mean, the different colors, you can use them as eyeshadow, and they're gorgeous because they're just, like, shimmery and pretty. And right on this look, though, I'm going to use it as actual highlighter. When I used it the first time, when I did this makeup, I turned out with blue streaks here and here, which I guess it's okay because, I mean, it's party, carnival-like, but you only want to do that if you're going to be party carnival. So let's see if I can keep from picking up the blue this time. A little bit. There we go. A little bit of the purple down here, because Mardi Gras is purple. See? Look at that. This brush works the best. I just recently got it. It's an e.l.f. powder brush, and I actually only paid $1 for it on clearance at Walmart. And I really like this brush. Let's see which way. Let's have the purple. I actually managed to buy this Halloween. They had it with the Halloween makeup at Walmart, and I was like, oh, I want to get that. Took me a few tries. Looking at it like, should I get it or should I not? And then I decided to get it. I'm not sure this camera is really doing this much justice, but I'll just kind of move around to see if you can see the pretty colors. Another bargain I got last year, Christmas, was the Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid lipstick, and it was half price too, and it had like, what, 20 colors in it? Every color I think that's in this actual line. They're matte, and they dry, and they last pretty good. And they come in some pretty cool colors. Like there's a really bright orange that I've used. Check out my Instagram. You can see some of the other colors. Also, I'm on Twitter, and I'm talking while I'm putting on lipstick. Not sure if that's a good idea or not, but it's working alright. These kind of lipsticks, I like to put them on thin, because then they dry, and then if you want to put a little bit more on, you put it on there. How pretty is that? Purple. Do I look carnival yet? Okay, did I forget to tell what gold was? I don't know if I did or not, so gold means gold represents power. I'm gonna have to look more into this representation and color, what they mean, because I'm not familiar with the stories, with the history. And I was even reading about it being like the colors of LSU, and something to do with, they just used those colors because that was LSU's colors and something like that, or two of the colors were, but I just have to look it up. I don't know. I can't use latex, I'm allergic. But I should have some around here if I need it. Let's see if this will, well, I've got this done. There we go. I gotta look it up because I can't put it on my eyes if it is. Yep. Latex rubber. Keep searching. Okay, found some. This only has acrylics, copolymer, and water, which I used these lashes for Halloween when I was BB8, and I used this and my eyes are fine, and so let's use this. I don't think I like that very much. It's too white. No. Let's try something else. That looks horrible, I think. No. Okay, these are really pretty. These are Salon Perfectly Diva. These are nicer. These have like stones in them. I've never used these. Happy birthday.